Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Antonio Neves, and it is my mission to help you rediscover what makes you great so you can start living courageously today. Now, how many of you out there watching this or listening to this have ever heard someone say, or maybe you've said something to the tune of, all of a sudden, I got fired from my job? Or you've heard someone say, suddenly, I realized I had to file for bankruptcy. Or maybe you hear someone say something like, one day, my relationship was in shambles. Well, you and I both know that things don't happen out of the blue. Things don't happen suddenly. Things don't happen one day. Slowly but surely, they build up over time and then they smack us in the face. They smack us in the face with a bad financial situation. They smack us in the face with the relationship coming to an end. They smack us in the face with maybe getting fired from a job. It's kind of like if you had a can of soda, or we call it pop where I'm from originally, and you just shake it up. We can ignore it all we want, but one day it might explode. The challenge is throughout life, what happens is we start avoiding things and we start ignoring things. We start ignoring all the taps on the shoulders. We start avoiding all of the signs. People are trying to tell us stuff, but we don't want to listen. And what's unique is we avoid these things by doing some really subtle, what seems like some innocent things. We avoid things, we ignore things by watching Netflix. I mean, if you watch, say, 4 episodes of a show in a row on Netflix, you might be avoiding something or ignoring something that's really important to you. We avoid things, we ignore things by maybe having that glass of wine or two at the end of the day, or that beer or two at the end of the day that sedates us and makes us stop thinking. So it makes us avoid something, or it makes us ignore doing that thing that all it would take is 15 minutes of time, but we ignore it. We also distract ourselves and avoid important things or ignore important things based on who we choose to spend our time with. If we're spending time with folks that don't make us better, that can easily make us avoid or ignore doing those things that are critically important. Well, I don't want you to have, and I don't want me to have one of those out of the blue situations, one of those suddenly situations, one of those one day this horrible thing happened to us or happened to me. A great way to make sure you can avoid that is by doing this right here. And this is how you can spark a shift. That's by asking yourself this simple yet challenging question. Based on your current path, if nothing changes based on today, if nothing changes, will your future get better or will it get worse? Once again, based on your current path, if you change nothing, are you headed towards a brighter future or are you headed towards a worse future? If you're honest with yourself, you know the answer to that question as it relates to your job. You know the answer to that question as it relates to those important relationships in your life. You know the answer to that question as it relates to your health and your finances and so many different things. Based on your current path, are you moving to a brighter future or a darker future? My hope for all of us is when someone says, out of the blue, or suddenly, or one day, it is followed with some amazing news, not bad news. You say, out of the blue, I won $18 billion. That may not happen, but I'd rather you tell me something good after you say out of the blue or suddenly, as opposed to telling me something worse. So ask yourself this question. What are you avoiding? What are you ignoring? Based on your current path, are you moving towards a better future or a worse future? My hope for all of us is that starting today, we can make a small shift to ensure that our future is brighter and not worse. So our suddenlies are amazing and not horrible.